On Wednesday's episode, the conversation began as they talked about the Kansas City Chiefs star's most recent interview with the Wall Street Journal. However, Sonny found a red flag in one of Travis' answers that he doesn't want to say anything to push Taylor away. She said, "What is he hiding then? For me, I want to know the good, bad, and the ugly up front. He's sending in his representative so that he doesn't offend her in any way. That's not real life, like people offend you sometimes." Meanwhile, Sara found another red flag in the interview where Travis talked about retirement and how he thought about it more than anyone could ever imagine. The host said, "He is huge in the football world, and then you go to Taylor Swift land, and I think that if you were thinking about next chapters, this would be lovely. He's on a podcast, he likes comedy, I think he's looking for a second act." Michael Strahan always says he was big among football players and men stopped him on the street. He went into morning TV and everyone stopped him on the street. That is from the mouth of a famous football player. Sara and Michael used to be co-hosts during the third hour of Good Morning America from 2018 to 2020 along with Hollywood actress Keke Palmer. What fans also noticed was that Sara told the story about Michael on his 52nd birthday. This isn't the first time Sara brought up her former co-workers. Ouchich. Earlier this month, Sara called out Al Roker for throwing jabs and how it affected relationships with her View co-hosts. While on the podcast, The View, Behind the Table, the U.S. daytime TV show executive producer, Brian Tedda, asked about her frequent joking on the show that she's the sister they never wanted. Sara went on to explain where the phrase actually came from Al, 69, whom she worked closely with during her time as a production coordinator on Today. "I've seen people being trolled for saying that, but let me tell you who originated that, Al Roker," the TV star said. She then detailed the pair's sizzly banter on the morning show set, admitting they'd throw jabs at one another. "Al Roker is hilarious, and so if he threw a jab, I'd throw a jab, all the things. Watching me kind of grow up there were points where Al Roker would just say, 'She's like the sister you never wanted,'" Sara recalled. The saying appeared to stick with Sara even after leaving NBC's Today and joining its rival network, ABC, as a panelist on The View. "So I once said that, and because it landed with Sunny Hostin, because she literally, I'm the sister she never wanted, she's locked into it," Sara laughed, referring to her The View co-host. She added, "Sunny's doing it in a loving way, just like Al Roker used to do it." Sara shades. Last week, Sara appeared on the Behind the Table podcast once again, but to shade one of her previous The View co-hosts. Brian asked Sara to share her Mount Rushmore of The View, referring to the 4 greatest hosts in the program's history. She immediately chose the show's creator, Barbara Walters, ex-co-host Meredith Vieira, 69, and her current co-hosts, Joy and Whoopi. Brian disagreed and suggested that Rosie, 61, who had 2 short stints on the show, from 2006 to 2007 and 2014 to 2015, was a contender. It could, in fact, be Rosie O'Donnell, he said. But Sara didn't feel the comedian deserved the spot. "Like I said, she was here for 1 minute, and when it looks at the impact of what the table was meant to be," she responded. Sara then insisted that the 4 ex-co-hosts she selected were the most impactful that the talk show has ever had. Brian rebutted by proposing some comics he thought were impactful on the panel, but Sara stayed firm on her stance. "They're caricatures. Comedy is caricatures. They are inflating, either polarizing people they can mock or caricatures of people. When you're looking for the authentic purpose of Barbara Walters' table, those are the 4 people," she concluded.